So good evening everybody and welcome back to FTRL. It is the Season 32 GT2 GT3 season finale and we are back here at the Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi for our final endurance race of the season. And what a season it has been once again then. GT2 and GT3 boys providing us with electric action across the last 7 weeks in a mixture of the Mazdas and the Ferraris. Mazdas, though, have been confined to the history books for the season, so it's just the Ferraris tonight. Cars making their way out onto track now for the final qualifying session of the season then. Just a small matter then, we've just got one championship left to wrap up, and the GT3 title was won last week. Zom wrapped that up with a round to spare, which is handy for him because he's not here this week. So thankfully the title was put to bed last week, so congratulations to him. He relieves Matman of his being the last time. Last race, so it's last race of the season. There'll be about a 2-week break, and then we'll be back with season 33 in a couple of weeks' time, so not long to wait. Somebody said some people are on the wrong tyres. I came back. SPY is qualifying on the hards, that's fine. You're right, they are. Let's just let them know. We missed start, so let's go on board with Derek and guide us for a lap of Yas Marina for the second time this season. Let's down start finish straight we go then towards the control tower. Open the apex up there, get up on the curve on the left hand side, and attack the curves on the inside. Run all the way out to the outside using that curve again. The car shakes and rattles and rolls before flinging ourselves into turn 2. Feather the throttle through 3, gets on the curve, a little bit too much curve there, I think, from Derek. Mind that bollard. Use the curves on the left hand side before straightening the car up for the braking zone here at the hairpin. Good overtaking opportunity this later in the races. Then got to wait to pick the throttle up on the exit there, using the curves again on the outside there. Nicely from Derek. And then down the first half of this back straight we go. For pick your braking marker. And stamp on the brakes then, down from 130 odd miles an hour all the way down to 40 miles an hour, 39 there through the first part of the corner. Bit of a crest on the second part then before starting to pick the throttle up again then through this sort of curve section now. Speed starting to build once again. And once again then, braking from 150 miles an hour down to, we're down 70 miles an hour then for the hairpin. Long left hander opens up a little bit on the exit there, pick the throttle up early again, over to the curbs now. As Derek he goes, opens the apex up there, keeps the throttle through the first part of it, then down the gears for first. For the right hander, then go left, go under the hotel walkway. Another left hander coming up here, the corner tightens on exit. Derek leaving plenty there, up against the wall. Through the penultimate corner we go, lift off there. Get the car straightened up, then down to first gear again, get the car turned in. Pick the throttle up. And across the line he goes, and it goes into P3 there with a 56.4. That Mikey then setting the marker on the opening lap. By the look of it, then he leads then after the first few laps on the board from unsafe release. Joker in third, Stufer in fourth there, qualifying for him as Face Potter slots into P5. Batman in P6, Derek down to P7, Odon in 8th, SBY having put a lap in on the hards down 11th. There's also now doing donuts on the exit of turn 1. So we've got 2 drivers filling in tonight. SBY filling in for Nobby Norris, unfortunately is still at Heathrow Airport, and T. Smith, the not yet crowned GT1 champion, filling in for the already mentioned absent Zom. I came back, and the Static Shock are now on the right tyres, so well spotted. We do still then have one championship left to wrap up then, and it's between this man, who is now on provisional pole, FTRL blue flag, and the man in third, Unsafe Release, and so Unsafe Release leading the championship coming into the final round. Unshaved knees. Love that. So the standings then coming in to this week. Unsafe for leading the way on 302 points. He's 20 points clear of blue flag on 82. But there's still 45 up for grabs. So it is not over yet. In fact, Joker can still theoretically win this as well. In third on 260. He's fairly comfortable in third, so he's not under any threat from behind, so he can't finish any lower than third. But well, he can, if there's disconnects, he might be able to pinch this away, and we've seen it before. So Unsafe just needs to finish close to blue flag. Blue flag needs to win, realistically, and then hope that Unsafe has a bit of a shirker. So if blue flag wins, Unsafe Release would need to be 5th in class. No. Yes. So yeah, if blue flag wins, then Unsafe can finish 5th in class. And that's enough for blue flag to steal the championship then. If blue flag finishes 2nd, then it would need to be 6th. And if he was 3rd, it would need to be 7th in class, I think. So, lots of permutations, but Unsafe just needs to keep it clean. Being well behind them, blue flag is currently 22 points ahead of Joker. So pretty much the same applies then. If Joker can win first time this season, blue flag will need to be 5th or worse. So in the standings then, so obviously Unsafe on 302, blue flag on 282, Joker on 260. There, Glyn is 4th then, best of the rest on 207, with Odon then another 20 points behind him, so there's quite some big gaps then. Odon on 187 then, but Derek is just behind him on 179, so Derek can feasibly get 5th overall in GT2 if he can beat Odon tonight. Face Potter is 7th on 145 with Macman on 142, so those two are also scrapping over P7 in class. Meanwhile, in GT3, as we already mentioned, the championship has been wrapped up. Zom has been crowned champion. Slufalo is on course for 2nd, 139 points. To the final week then, Nobby Norris, who was missing this week, has got SPY filling in for him though, so half points, but if he can score big, then well, we shall see. But then Nobby Norris on 122, then Monte Carlo on 99.5. Beach on 71.5 is in the chat, but on the track unfortunately. It's been covered by Mike, and then we've got I Came Back on 59 and Static Shocker on 25. So then can Unsafe Release do anything about his title rival currently holding provisional pole? Well, SPY parked at the side of the track, so he has got the memo. His way down the back straight. Shocker, I think any personal best sense. Safe into the chicane on the back straight. Got a checkpoint at the end of the straight. He needs to find about a quarter of a second. Of course, we were treated to an epic battle between Unsafe and Blue Flag at the start of the season at this track, and Unsafe is half a second up nearly. What about Blue Flag? He has just commenced another lap by the look of it, so Mikey's first on track of these three. We're currently at the sharp end then. Joker just a 10th back, and Stuffer as well. So Stuffer, of course, had a good pace at the start of the season, but span out of the Mazda race, put him in the pack for the main race. He didn't quite get the result he would have hoped there. As Mikey's decided to bail out of his lap. I think of that big slide there. So come around then, the final few seconds will be the final laps then. The timer ticks over now. So has Unsafe kept the momentum through the final sector? He does. He goes nearly over three quarters of a second. Pole gauntlet laid down by Unsafe Release. Blue Flag was victorious in both races here at the start of the season, both the Mazdas and the Ferrari. He's got to fight back now, though, in the race. And he's 3/10 down at the moment. But there's still time to be found in that final sector then. So it's currently unsafe release, blue flag, Mikey and Joker. Stufa in 5th. Face Potter 6th, the Matman in 7th. Derek is 8th. And it's Glyn, Odon, Monte Carlo. I came back. SBY, Static Shocker, T Smith in the pits. It's blue flag then. We're going to watch them for the final few corners. He needs to find some time. It's a big ass though, and I don't think he's going to find it. Static Shocker improves. 59.9 for him there. Oh, blue flag's caught the curve and is sliding through the final corner. And does not improve. Then unsafe release strikes first blood. And he takes pole position then for the endurance race. Of course, in his Black Falcon livery from his championship winning season in season 9. Blue flag there will be right behind him at the start. We've got one car coming around, have we? You have. Stufa still on a lap. However, it looks to be fairly slow. Yeah, he's well off his best time, so he will not be improving then, but still a solid P5 there for him. And that means he will be leading the GT3 contingent. And crosses the line then. There we have it then. Qualifying is over and done with then, and unsafe release strikes first and comprehensively as well. Fastest of all over the 154.2. Only one in the 54s. Then blue flag is second on a 55 flat with Mikey just behind him on a 55.1. Joker, the outgoing GT2 champion then. Can he pull off the miracle? Starts 4th then on a 55.4, just ahead of Stufa then, also on a 55.4 who leads GT3. Face Potter is 6th on with a 56.2, just ahead of Matman also on a 56.2 then, so those two super close as well. Derek then 56.3 just behind them, so those three looked fairly evenly matched on pace. Glyn then a 56.6 for him, starts P9 with Odon in 10th on a 56.8, just 10th ahead of Monte Carlo on a 56.9. Then we've got I came back on a 58.5. SBY on a 59.1, Static Shocker on a 59.9, and T Smith then bringing up the rear. Now they may have to do a custom grid if SBY's accidentally set a lap time, because he's ahead of one of the drivers, and don't think it'll too much, but we'll see what happens. Then for an update of what's happening then. Was Sean getting a qualifying lap in there? Is that going to have messed up the lobby? Damn it, Sean. I don't think it matters too much. If you can you should drop to the back at the start, then I think that would be fair, a fair resolution. But I'm sure there's some conflabbing going on. Now the good news is about the track is, because it's artificial racing, not real life, there aren't going to be any bombs dropped on the circuit. So, just joking, I need a pee. To be fair though, we have got 60 laps, which is about a 2-hour race ahead of us, so yeah, if you do need a pee, I would suggest going now, because you're going to be holding it in pretty hard thereafter. Sipping my cup of tea like I'm not going to need a pee break in about half an hour. So we shall see. Thankfully I'm not driving though, so if needs be I can just run upstairs and go. The perils of endurance racing. So while we wait for season 32 to wrap up, season 33 on the horizon. That's already asked in the chat there. I think it was 8-Bit Pro was asking about that, what's happening for next season. Then, so 2 weeks time, we'll have a 2-week break, and then at season 33 it will commence. Then the general gist of what the season looked like is now sorted, so we're just waiting for details to be posted, which I imagine will go out after tomorrow's GT1 finale. People then can start practicing for the new season. How exciting. What have we got in store then? So Mike is kicking us off. Predictions in the chat then, please. Is it going to be unsafe? Is it going to be blue flag? Can Joker pull off the impossible? Well, we're about to find out then. 60 laps ahead of us. Shade under 2 hours. Rolling start, of course, as ever with the endurance races. Excuse me. So it's unsafe release then on the medium tyres, as is blue flag. Hards for just Mikey in third and Joker in fourth. It's Super in fifth is on the medium tyres, as is Face Potter. Mattman's on the hard tyre. Derek's on the mediums. It's the mediums for Glyn. It's the hards for Odon. The mediums for Monte Carlo. The mediums for IK and back. SPY's on the hards, as is Static Shocker, and T Smith at the back on the softs. But up front, away we go then. Unsafe release leading us away on lap 1 of 60. Then the cars heading down towards turn 1 for the first time. Through we corner we go. A little bit of a twitch there, and the blue flag is on him immediately, and up the inside into turn 2. And blue flag takes the lead. So no hanging around from blue flag. He snatches the initiative immediately, like he has to do. He needs to get ahead, pull away, and hope that something befalls the man behind him. Mikey, Joker. Can they get in amongst them? It's a big old ask, but anything can happen in FTRL. Making the way down the back straight then, Joker is defending from Stufer and Face Potter already. Joker on the hard tyres, Stufer is on the mediums then, trying to go down the outside, and the brakes, there's a little bit of contact there. And a little bit more through the mid-corner, now Face Potter coming to attack Stufer. Gets over the curb, but nothing doing. It's gone board then with Stufer. In the mirror is Face Potter. Ahead of us is Joker. Up front, blue flag continues to hold the lead as they get to the hairpin for the first time then. Face Potter looking up the inside into the hairpin. There's contact, big contact through the hairpin there, but Face Potter has muscled his way through. That might get the irk of Stufer, but he still leads GT3. Big cut there at the corner there from Stufer. Just be careful, you don't get a penalty there. And he's got one. That was a big cut there at the corner. There's a bit of a gap back behind him, so it might not be the worst time to have got a penalty, but still suboptimal for him then. The car's making their way then out of the final corner to complete lap 1 then, and it is blue flag leading the way then, doing what he needs to do. However, the man is right behind him. He needs to drop him and put a few cars in between him ideally. Of course, both the filling in drivers, the GT1 drivers, are in GT3 cars. So way to go then for them. So the running order as it stands is blue flag leading from unsafe release. Mikey just over a second behind them. Then it's Joker in fourth. Hard defense from Face Potter now, and Stufer right there as well. The backstrap we go. Mattman is in P7 then, with Derek tucked behind him. T Smith on those soft tyres, making rapid progress through the field. He's up to 9th already. He has got one set of softs and one set of mediums to use. He will then be using the hards for the remainder of the race. And then Glyn in P10, Odon in P11. Came back, tucked up behind him, with SBY right behind him as well. Good evening, Zom. Welcome. That's a Thupi in 14th. Static Shocker in P15. Up front then, blue flag continues to lead. In the background there, we've got more battles, got side by side. Joker on the inside, defending from Face Potter. Joker's on the hard tyres, Face Potter's on the mediums. So Joker want to try and hold him back as much as he can do. Face Potter trying to find a way through. Way through the technical section. Oh, in the background, who was that? That is Derek having a lunge at Mattman. Running off the circuit. Mattman gets bulked up, and Glyn's now battling as well. Good scrap this. Mattman and Glyn just ahead of them. T Smith onto the back of Stufer. He was right on the back of Face Potter. He was right on the back of Joker. T Smith having a look at Stufer. 4 P6 down the inside into turn 1. That is technically for the GT3 class league. That's T. Smith filling for Zom. Half point sent Stufer on his way to wrapping up P2 in the GT3 standings. Steve Smith then quickly making the move on Face Potter as well. Up to 5th he goes. Now that's just straight onto the back of Joker. What's going on further back in this battle? Then Glyn cleared Matman and all that. Glyn is on the medium tyres though, so Matman taking his pain early on, getting the hard tyres out of the way. SBYML has made the move on. I came back for P12. Carlo behind them. So Shocker on the hards. Blue Flag then has managed to pull out of slipstream range of unsafe release, and so now can he go about banging in quick laps and dropping his chaser? Mikey still in touch behind him. Meanwhile, Joker about to come under attack from T. Smith. T. Smith on the soft and Joker on the hards. This is a bit of a mismatch on tyres, 2 compound difference. And T. Smith then up to 4th place. Now we can start chasing down Mikey in 3rd, who is just being dropped by unsafe release, who has managed to get back into slipstream range of Blue Flag. Just though, those slipped marginally back out then through the final couple of corners, so Blue Flag doing everything he can. Oh, right on into the curve there, the car getting unsettled. Wiggles his hips then a 55.9, his personal best fastest lap, 56.1, so 2 tenths up on the man chasing him. Unshaved the knees. Mikey with a 57.8, so lost 1.7 seconds on that lap. And now Joker is once again under threat from Stufer, who's got back ahead of Face Potter. And Glyn, Derek, all fairly close together. Hold on. Get in touch with an SBY, trying to chase him down. Oh, you can see the understeer on those hard tyres. Car does not want to comply. Came back then, making his way over the bridge. There's the pit exit. Down to the hairpin. Monte keeping him honest. In a bit of a moment on somewhere on lap 2, the 2-minute 0.8, 57.7. Oh, dearie me, caught the curb there, and that very nearly sent him around there. I can pay testament. That curb can kill this Ferrari. That happened in the first week there. I got on that curb and immediately looped on that one. I think Sean did as well, but Sean managed to do a 360 and carried on. I did a 180. So I was not so lucky. So up front then, Blue Flag continues to try and break unsafe release. He had his number last time around. As further back, T. Smith making the move on Mikey then through that sector towards the hotel. Up to 3rd he goes. As Face Potter is back ahead of Stufer then, so this battle rages on, and Derek and Glyn are starting to close that gap as well. These two not able to find a way past Joker, who's on the hard tyre. Both Face Potter and Stufer are on the mediums, so they're on a quicker tyre. They want to get through if they can. At the moment, Joker's defence is steadfast, and that is just letting Derek and Glyn close in, and so Joker's lap time with a 58.7. Face Potter with a 57.9, 58.9 from Stufer, then a 58.1 from Derek, and a 57.8 from Glyn. So Glyn, his personal best, fastest lap. And yeah, Derek's taking 6 tenths out of Joker on that lap. So, coming Derek's lap times, 3,000 of a second apart then, but he's ran a little bit wide at turn 1, and that's put Glyn right on the back of him. As up ahead, Face Potter and Stufer and Joker still squabbling. I see the soft tyre on T. Smith's car on lap 5, and those are already looking fairly angry. It's about 3rd worn already. Of course, they will start to drop off massively now, and it's going to be this next sector really which really hurts the tyres, because the first sector is not too bad. Turn sort of 2, 3 is kind of the big painful bit for this car, but this next sector is quite heavy loaded high speed corners. That's where it's going to hurt these tyres. Should get still defending from face potter for Stufer. Derek's still 3 seconds back, and Glyn all over the back of him. That man just dropping away a little bit at the moment, but he is on the hard tyre. Everyone's now got SVY latched onto the back of him. And getting back, also coming back at them a little bit here, I think. He had dropped back quite a bit, but he seems to have got a bit back between his teeth, and he's pushing to get back on terms with these guys. So up front, blue flag now has the lead up to 1.6, and unsafe releases out and over the curbs. And that might be a penalty. Has he got away with it? He's got away with it. The gap now, up to 2 seconds. So blue flag, as with the first race of the season, does seem to have unsafe number at the moment. Then they're on the same tyre, both of them on the medium tyres. D. Smith closing in behind, but you can see that front right tyre looking quite angry now. Joker still defending from face potter and from Stufer. Face potter getting the rear, all sorts of lively out of the hairpin, trying to get the power down out over the curbs. Now will he get away with that penalty? The answer is yes, he will. Behind them, the gap to Derek has gone up to 3.3 seconds, so Derek's an earlier charge seems to have stunted ever so slightly. Stufer with a personal best last time around, 57.9. Joker with the 57.8 was the quickest of these three. As you can see, he is still struggling to get away. Joker doing a personal best then through sector 2 to get to the hairpin. Wide line there, face potter thought about looking up the inside, but not close enough. Getting all kinds of racy. Face potter trying to find a way through, but so far Joker's defence has been resolute. Holding the cars behind him on quicker tyres at bay. Lost a bit of time in the final sector then, so it was a 58 flat from him, a 57.6 from face potter, and a 57.5 from Stufer. So these three, the guy at the back is the quickest of all, and these three are nose to tail. Look at that, 3 Ferraris covered by a blanket. The way then over turn 2 and 3, up down the hill, go on board with Stufer. Looking at face potter, who's looking at Joker. Oh, Stufer there, it's coming very tight there to the hairpin. I think he ran a bit wide, thought he could cut back up the inside, cut too tight if anything. Off the corner we go then. Face potter looking for the slipstream. Joker trying to break the toe, dives to the inside immediately, snakes over to the right hand side. Stufer following suit. Now then, as we get to the braking zone, down the burst gear, then over the curbs. Joker a little bit deep there, face potter a bit deep as well. Stufer's going to go for it. Had a run there, but just found the side of the face potter's car, unfortunately. Stunted his progress. Face potter hangs on, and now starts to attack Joker once again. Gap behind Derek is holding fast, so even though these three are battling ever so slightly, Derek behind them is not making any progress in trying to shut them down, close them down. The tyres squealing around the hairpin. I'm just going to pop back up to the lead because I think that gap, no, it's as it was. Unsafe release has a half-second penalty, which is suboptimal because he's got D. Smith closing him down. Marker boards all over the road. The blue flag then continues to set the pace then. Super consistent last couple of laps, 56.6, 56.7. 55s for 3 laps there, laps 3, 4 and 5. Safe was a 57 last time around, but lost 3 tenths. T. Smith behind him, whose tyres are now looking very second-hand. Look how quickly they drop away. The first 5 laps, they were okay. They were only about a third worn after 5 laps, but 3 laps later, they're now 2/3 worn. So as I say all the time on commentary, then the tyres, as they wear, they slide more, and as they slide more, they wear more. So it becomes very much a second-hand thing. I keep having this problem with my headset, but I thought it was my headset. I think it's my controller. So you're getting a sort of staticky, like a static noise building up, but this is a new headset, so it can't be that. So I'm starting to think it's the controller. Anyway, the battle for fourth, Joker, despite being under constant pressure from Face Potter and Stufer, he is actually starting to close down on Mikey. Both these guys on the hard tyre. Mikey, who bolted away early doors, there was a big gap between himself and Joker. In fact, he was hanging on to unsafe and blue flags to begin with, but they've all now cruised away. He's now 14 seconds off the lead, and Joker is now only just a second behind him. Face Potter's still there, Stufer's still there as well. Derek has managed to pull a couple of tenths back in on this lap and bringing Glyn with him still. Glyn just sitting behind him in P9. The way under the hotel for the 8th time. Leaders crossing the line then. Unsafe. T. Smith not finding a way past unsafe would have served his penalty, but T. Smith also not pitting, interestingly. Of course, everybody else has got free use of the tyres as they wish, apart from SVY and T. Smith. They've got one set. I've got a Logitech G335 now, so I've got rid of my Turtle Beach one. I say I've got rid of it, it's still there, but it's just been... I say the biggest problem I thought with it was the static problem, but I thought the cable was going, but now I'm starting to think it's the controller. Because this is about the 4th time I've used this one, and it's starting to do exactly the same thing. So maybe I need to give this a bit of a clean up. Comfortable. Flappy little microphone thing. It's a bit weird. So, yes, I kept getting told that people could hear themselves in my headset like it was echoing, because I think the microphone stem was quite short, so it was picking up the noise from the earpieces and causing an echo. So fingers crossed this will sort the problem out, but we shall see. Tomorrow will be the acid test, I suppose. Anyway, enough about headset. Back to the track on action. In the background then SBY, now P10. He's passed Odon and dropped Odon considerably as well. 57.3, good pace there from SBY. He's been getting quicker and quicker. Odon on the same tyre, P11. I came back also, having closed in there. He is on the medium tyre though. Scarlett on the medium tyre. Matt Mann has pitted meanwhile, and he's now on the mediums for the first time. And Static Shocker still circling. P15. Personal best on the last lap there, 2:01.6. Getting into his rhythm now. It's up front, the gap to the leader has come down. Was up at nearly... Now, interestingly, T. Smith's gone round again. I'm very... What is T. Smith doing? Because those tyres are absolutely cooked. That front right is going to be feeling absolutely awful. But yeah, the gap to lead was nearly 2 seconds. It's down to 1.3. So blue flag last lap was a 58 flat, unsafe did a 57.2. They took 0.8 of a second out of blue flag that last lap. So a mistake somewhere from blue flag. These two continuing to stalk each other. T. Smith now is probably going to be stropping away on this lap then. I think he might have wanted to pit, really. This lap is going to be a very tough one by the end of it, because that front right tyre is going to be absolutely on the carcass and the rim by the time they get to the pit lane. Mikey has just put a little bit of time back into Joker. He was managed to drop Face Potter and Stufer now thinking about a move on Face Potter on the brakes at the end of the end of the straight. Not quite close enough. Face Potter's gone a bit deep there, compromises run. Stufer's had a better run through the chicane. Big snap of oversteer there from Face Potter. He gets the power down. But Stufer not close enough to capitalise. Derek Continuing to keep them honest, but not really closing in. And they're all on the same tyre, as is Glyn behind him. Around the hairpin we go. Up front, then the gap is back down to 0.8 of a second then, so Unsafe has got the magnets on. Blue Flag just struggling a little bit at this phase of the race. He had a nice comfortable lead. Now T-Smith must be in this time, and he is, yes. There is a pixel of tyre left. And into the pits then he comes, then getting off of those soft tyres. That's a good stint to get 10 laps out of those, but he's maybe lost a good chunk of time. 57, so still competitive lap times to be fair to T-Smith. So front two then covered by 0.8 of a second. Blue Flag from Unsafe Release. Took the lead at turn 2, lap 1. So far has not looked back, but has not been able to drop Unsafe. He had the lead up to 2 seconds at one point, but the last 2 laps, Unsafe has pegged him back again. Mikey's gap over Joker has now grown again, so Joker is now back under pressure from Face Potter. So whether that's a mistake from Joker somewhere. Go on board with Face Potter then. He's put a bit of gap into Stufer finally. Again, Face Potter lighting the rear tyres up as he tries to get the power down. Face Potter, I have a feeling Face Potter went well here the first time round as well. There was one race this season, I can't remember off the top of my head where it was, but Face Potter was really in the mixer. On pure pace as well. I think his biggest downfall is he's on automatic gears. He can't really regulate his fuel usage like some of the others, and it also that definitely hurts him in the brakes. Ooh, dearie me, went a bit deep there. Car kicked out there on the curb, but Joker's wide again. Oh, he is upshifting. I wonder if he actually is on manual gears. As Joker peels off, as the Joker is in. Get off of those hard tyres. Lap 12 goes Face Potter. Up to P4 he goes as well. Here we go Stufer then, who is just about keeping in touch there with Face Potter. He was a bit further back, but it looks like he's trying to re-engage again. Eric is again just chipping away, but he's a bit wide there. And Glyn, SPY in 8th. Smith is back out now on the hard tyre. P9, Odon in 10th. Joker and I came back also in the pits. On fuel. Joker is on his way now. What tyre has he gone on to? It's a soft tyre. So Joker then trying to undercut Mikey. And he comes out just ahead of Monte Carlo. That'll be key. It's the front two continuing to circulate. Still just 0.8 between them as they go under the hotel for the 12th time. Unsafe Release getting the back, stepping out there, lost himself a couple of tenths there. The corner, not pitting this time around, but they are both getting close. Again, Blue Flag quite a lot worse on fuel. So if listen, he there having a bit of a moment out the final corner as he gets onto the red line now. So we've got 1.3 laps of fuel left in the tank for Blue Flag. Unsafe Release a little bit more, but I don't know if he'll be able to go another lap. Back in third, Face Potter, the one on the red line, so he'll be in this time around. Stufer is just up into the red line as well, so he'll be pitting in this time. Derek's not far away from going onto the red line. There he goes. So these guys will all be in this time around. Glyn again, once again, Glyn. Look at this fuel management there, superb from Glyn. He's probably got at least 2 more laps in the tank then, so Glynn could potentially save himself a pit stop if he can get fuel mileage like that. Most people looking at sort of 12, 13 laps, but Glynn's possibly on for 14, 15. Whether or not he can save himself a pit stop, or at least mean less time on the hard tyre. Because you imagine that for most of the race, people are going to want to be on the mediums. I don't know what I've done. What are you doing, Odon? What do you mean you don't know what you've done? The car got painfully slow, this pit exit is, until the car picks up speed. There we go. Medium tyre. What don't you know, Owen? Come on, talk us through it. The leaders are making their way under the hotel, and now just half a second between them and falling. It's 4 tenths now between them. Unsafe could potentially jump blue flag here. Unsafe's going to go round. Unsafe's got 1 more lap in the tank. He's going to try and overcut. Is that wise? They're sliding again. So blue flag, they're trying to undercut to stay ahead. Where is T. Smith? He's just coming under the hotel now. Mikey's in as well from 3rd. Blue flag is refueling. T. Smith making his way through the penultimate corner. Blue flag is topped up and on his way. T. Smith out the final corner. Going under turn 1, it's going to be close between blue flag and T. Smith, I think. This pit exit then is absolute killer. And away he goes. He's out on the hards, and somewhere approaching is T. Smith. Where is he? There he is. There's the gap. 1.7 seconds in, so he just did enough. So Unsafe then now has clear track and low fuel. He's got to push. Let's see what his sector time is like. Worn tyres, I'm not expecting much. As close to his PB as he can do. Be good. Just a quarter of a second down on his PB on 14 lap old tyres. Low fuel, of course, helping out, but that's good pace from Unsafe releasing. Can he jump blue flag? Into the hotel section there. Final couple of corners then before he peel off to the right hand side into the pit lane. Don't hit the pit wall. Makes it in nicely. And in he goes. Glynn then. Superb job. Glynn's not even on the red line yet. Neither is SPY. SPY's got on fumes, so SPY's done a good job matching Unsafe release, but Glynn's still got, it's only now dropped onto the red line, so Glynn's got another lap of fuel in the tank. Is he going to take it? He is. Safe release is filling up. Where is blue flag? T. Smith. Final corner. Unsafe release is short fueled. Oh, blue flag is all kind of sideways. Oh, massive snap. Big save from blue flag. Where is Unsafe release? And he's under the tunnel. They're coming around turn 1 now. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. But I think he's done it. He has. I don't think that snap has cost blue flag. It's cost him a bit, being a bit closer, but I think Unsafe is going to jump him anyway, because Unsafe has short fueled. Oh, blue flag is again sliding out the hairpin there. Getting the rear, steering with the rear tyres there. He's turning right out of a left-hander. Get the car going straight, then so Glynn leads on very old medium tyres, then behind him Unsafe release on fresh hards, with blue flag and T. Smith behind on up to temperature hard tyres. Unsafe's lead is coming down to blue flag behind. As he gets his tyres up to temperature, the next sector is going to hurt him most, I think. Is Glyn going to play a factor in this then? Looks like T. Smith closing in further back than Joker in 5th. Has jumped Mikey, who's on the medium tyres. Of course, it's Joker's on the softs, so personal best than 55.7 from him. Just 3/10 off the fastest lap of the race, in fact more like just over 2/10 off the fastest lap of the race, so Joker's pace on the soft tyres is good. Glyn pits, there's still 4 litres in there, so great effort from Glyn on fuel once again. Blue Flag's taken about half a second out of unsafe release, but unsafe now, should have his tyres up to temperature. See, top 3 all on the hard tyres. The man in 4th is on the softs and is catching them. Mikey on the mediums, setting good pace. Glyn's on his way. Now, where's Glyn going to feature out? Is he going to come out in 6th here? He might do. Stuffer having a look on Matman into turn 1. Stuffer's on the soft tyre, Matman's on the hard, on the mediums. Stuffer want to get this move done if he can, and he's up the inside. It's a good move there from Stuffer. Aggressive but clean. Where has Glyn filtered out? He has filtered out in 6th place, just behind Mikey. Well, about 7 seconds behind Mikey, but just in front of Face Potter. So Glyn there getting a big undercut on Face Potter and Stuffer. And Derek as well. So Derek's gone to the hard tyre, which is probably partly to explain. Odon there. What is going on with Odon? He's just on the personal best, 57.8. But Odon down in P13 at the moment, so having a great race thus far. We've seen him have a couple of really good races this season. Look at how much Stuffer has dropped Matman on this lap by 3 seconds. We saw him make the move into turn 2. Over the course of the lap, he's pulled 3 seconds there. Matman's got a little bit deep there. Matman just struggling at this phase of the race over his tyres a little bit. So the wear starting to creep in. Glyn then on the soft tyre. That's another probably reason why he's managed to jump Face Potter as effectively as he has. He needs to try and close down on Mikey at the moment. That was his outlap there, so it's difficult to tell. As Joker. Not Slowshifts, Mikey and Static Shocker. So that gap there is 6 seconds. Joker's gap to T. Smith is 5.1. T. Smith continues to remain half a second behind Blue Flag. Blue Flag, meanwhile, continues to take a few tenths here and there out of unsafe release. It was 3 tenths on the last lap. T. Smith is sideways there, over the curb, over the bollard, through the chicane. He tries to get the power down. 2.5 seconds covers your top 3. Mikey there getting past Static Shocker. I just need to stick my phone on charge. It's going to die. Oh no. I didn't turn on the wall. Fuming. Don't you steal my seat cap. I swear to God, I'll be back in about 3 seconds. What did I just tell you? No. Now. And Stuffer and Face Potter are about to resume their battle. Face Potter on the hard tyre, Stuffer on the softs. I'm interested quite how Stuffer fell so far back from Face Potter. 4 seconds difference in their pit stop time, interestingly enough. Got similar fuel loads, but Steve at this stage is on a much better tyre, so he needs to make quick work of Face Potter if he can. We saw him pass Matman a lap ago here, or 2 laps ago. Oh, Face Potter's wide. There's going to be a chance into the hairpin braking zone for Stuffer. He's on the outside line. Face Potter's going to go defensive here, but it's not really his battle. He doesn't need to battle Stuffer at the minute because he's on a completely different tyre. Stuffer then's going to get the momentum around the outside off the curb. He's got a great slingshot here, getting a little bit of slipstream. So head down the back straight then. He is right under the ribbon. He's going to the outside, interestingly. Is that Face Potter covering, or has Stuffer just picked that side? Face Potter needs to give him a little bit of room as they hit the brakes for the chicane. Stuffer can't find a way by there. He picked the wrong side. He needed the inside really there. He's too tight a line there for the chicane as well. Can't make the move there, but seems to have got better traction again. So we've got another chance into the second hairpin. But I think he's too far back. He is gaining. But not close enough then, so Stuffer will have to sit behind for a couple more corners then. Matman in P9. A bit of an off on lap 16. He lost a little bit of pace the last couple of laps, but let's see if he can get it back into a rhythm. Derek in P10 on the hards, taking his pain. And then we've got the 3-car battle here between SBY, Odon, and I came back on the soft tyre. The medium tyre is on Odon and the hard tyre on SBY. So all 3 compounds, but in the reverse order of their ultimate pace. But the longevity in favour of SBY. On board them with Odon in the middle of this sandwich. Sometimes they're struggling to bite there for Odon into the final corner. Now, I don't know if you can notice, there's not really a way you can zoom in here, but if you look at the dashboard of the Ferrari, you've got on the right hand side there, you've got the tyre temperatures. Now you can see the front left is at 89, the front right is at 87 currently. And the rear is at 78 and 75 respectively. Now, I don't know whether they update or not. It's just the same on everybody. I think it's just the same on everybody, isn't it? So maybe it's not. However, I don't know whether that dashboard about the time is right. Well, let's have a look at the checkpoint coming on. Green on the screen on the dashboard, but overall that time he's down at his personal best, so I'm not quite sure what the green is. That's different in each car as well, so the projected lap time, not sure. Look at a 56.4 at the minute, a 56.7 for Odon now. Gone a bit wide. He's wide again there. Again, the front end struggling to bite. Now looking at a 56. Yeah, look at a 56.6. Wide again there. The front of that car is not complying at the moment for him. 56.3. 57.3. Dashboard's giving me all kind of weird readings. Alright, then back to the lead battle then. Unsafe has got the gap back to 2.2. And is just holding station at the minute then. He's now level, he's maybe fractionally worse off on fuel. You're talking about a pixel or so. T. Smith the worst of the front 3, but he did pit early. Because he started on the soft tyres, so first. Marky now back into fourth because Joker's pitted off his soft tyres. lucky for. Glyn in 5th. Face spotter and Stufer still battling. Stufer has not yet been able to find a way through. Let's get to the hairpin again. Nothing doing. Okay, look how tighter, much tighter land there from Stufer on the soft tyre than face spotter. Those hard tyres have to take a long way around the hairpin there, but has stayed ahead. Against Stufer's car, just so much more compliant in the corner, so he's a little bit wide there though. Didn't get that line right. Ooh, face Potter getting the rear end snaking now. In the background then, Joker now on the mediums. That has, oh dearie me, over the curb, the back end getting a bit leery, but he has now completed his tyre allocation requirements. Round a little right-hander, down the hill we go. Look, P9. My P10, just Odon behind him. My came back is in the pits. That's through goes Monte Carlo, and through will go Matman, who's once again on the mediums. Between the front three, the gap between all three of them is now 3 seconds. So Felice last time did a 57.3, Blue Flag a 57.3, T Smith at 57.29. So looking at that 37 thousandths of a second between the front three in terms of lap time last time around. That is how closely matched they are. .3, 57.2, 57.6 this time around. So T Smith this time 0.3 off the ultimate pace of the cars ahead of him. Unsafe marginally quick, although unsafe is very wide there, and is that going to be a penalty? It is. Half-second penalty for the race leader then. And a critical time then. Just lost a couple of tenths to the man behind him. In fact, he lost about half a second to Blue Flag there. And now, having served that penalty, that's going to lose him another second, so they're going to be right on top of him. Don't know if T Smith's made a mistake somewhere, or Blue Flag just held the hammer down on this lap, but Blue Flag has closed right in on unsafe release again. And a critical time as well, because unsafe is about to serve that penalty. What's the GCR? Serves his penalty then. Here comes Blue Flag. Gap's going to come down to under a second. So before the pit stops, Blue Flag was being chased by unsafe release. Unsafe jumped Blue Flag in the pit cycle, but that penalty has now put them less than a second apart again, but T Smith tucked in behind. Also Mikey doing very good lap times behind them, is also closing in. Chipping away, took 7/10 out of T Smith last time around. Half a second the lap before, so Mikey is taking chunks of time out of the cars ahead of him. Just 8.6 off the lead. Glyn in 5th on those soft tyres, which are now past their best. He's got 5 seconds though over face Potter, who is still battling with Stufer, but Joker is now in between them, so Joker has caught them. Stufer's soft tyres are going to be about cooked, aren't they? They are indeed. So he'll be in this time around. Those tyres do not want to do another lap, surely. Yep, Stufer pits. leave Joker then to try and battle with Face Potter. So now it's Face Potter on the hard tyre being chased by Joker on the mediums, whereas in the early part of the race it was the other way around. Joker leading Face Potter on the hards with Face Potter on the mediums, unable to find a way through. Can Joker find a pass? Don't look like I'm third now. He's a bit of a dick, isn't he? Can't even keep up though, these two. He's being absolutely dominated by these two. Can't keep up at the minute. One safe there, getting a slide, and that's going to give Blue Flag an opportunity here to close right in then. I don't think it'll be close enough at the end of the straight into the hairpin for an attempt, but it has happened, yes. Four tenths, and now the gap to make the way around the hairpin. Through those sweeping right-handers then, down the brakes there. Under the hotel, Blue Flag is pushing him now along as they head under the hotel. Blue Flag just seems to have more grip at this stage then. Getting towards the end of their stints, although both just under a quarter of a tank. The unsafe is now slightly better on fuel again, so Blue Flag is using more fuel than unsafe release. But the gap between them is negligible, 4 tenths of a second, and T. Smith being dropped at the moment then. So this is round one all over again between these two. Last time they did different strategies. As unsafe is a little bit wide again. Has he got away with that one? I think he was still on the curve, so I think he's okay this time. He is. But that will be encouragement for Blue Flag to make their way onto the back straight for the 24th time. Glynn in the pits behind them. Done his soft tyres. Brake then, Blue Flag closing right in under braking. Safe again with a little bit of a twitch there, but Blue Flag had a similar exit this time, so once they've actually pulling a couple of hundredths of a second. T. Smith meanwhile remaining 3 seconds off the lead, just keeping a watching brief. Meanwhile, Mikey has just dropped away a little bit then, having been closing up. There's been a drama somewhere on lap 23, like a 23.4, a 203.4, sorry. He's lost 6 seconds somewhere. So Mikey, who was closing on the front three, has had a moment somewhere and has lost himself a hat for the time. Joker, though, has meanwhile found a way past Face Potter. He's now trying to check out then. American SBY in close attendance. Stufer now on the hard tyre. Glynn also on the hard tyre. So Glynn, despite having jumped Stufer in the last stint, has now found himself back behind him. Monte Carlo up in P11 at the moment. That man behind him in P12. Odon not far behind in 13th. And I came back on the hard tyre, Odon on the mediums. And Static Shocker is on the mediums at the moment then as he makes his way under the hotel. Safer seems to have regrouped a little bit then, got that lead up to 9 tenths again as he's broken the slipstream. T. Smith now on the red line in terms of fuel, Blue Flag not much better off. But T. Smith also doing a good job on fuel because he was significantly worse than these two ahead of him before. To the hairpin we go. Some different lines there around there. On, so they're getting a nice arc. Looks like a little bit wider through the exit there. But it was quicker because he is closing. blows through the corners. Blue flag again, lighting the rears up there. That's cost him a little bit of time. Is T Smith going to be in? No, blue flag's in. Oh, blue flag's gone very tight there. He's in. T Smith's in. So they're deciding. Yeah, lap 22 is obviously where he served his penalty, so 58.5, but yeah, other than that, very consistent lap times there from unsafe, 57.4, 5.3, 3.3, 5.4 and 6, so it's a 3/10 spread in lap times where he hasn't had a penalty over the last, 8 laps. So there will be his in lap then. So he went longer last time around, he's gone longer this time as well. Good evening, Witchell. Hello, how are we? Marky also solidly in the 57s on this stint. Although he's on the medium tyre. Just at 2.03.4. Killed him a little bit then. And blue flag has come out behind Joker. Now, that's going to be critical. Blue flag needs to make quick work here. He's on the medium tyre, they're on the same compound of tyre. Although blue flags are newer and he's got more fuel on board. I think he's going to make quick work of Joker here. Joker doesn't need to fight this because it's not really his race. Blue flag is through, but how much time has he got lost? He has gained massively on T Smith though. Probably partly down to the tyre compound different unsafe pits then from the lead. Mikey will be in as well. No, Mikey's going around again, interestingly. Well, he might have been in there, but no, Mikey's going to do one more lap. Unsafe release filling up. Blue flag coming to the final corner. Out of the final corner. When does unsafe start moving again? Now. Safe is released. Blue flag heading down towards turn 1 then. Yeah. Big season ender. Where are they going to feed out then? Where is unsafe release? He's on pit exit. Blue flag though is through. He is, and his Joker. Unsafe drops in ahead of T Smith. So this time around the undercut worked. So this last time around the overcut worked for unsafe. This time the undercut worked for blue flag. But unsafe is still in prime position to wrap up the title. Mikey Reno will be in this time around then. He's on fumes. Now, what part is Joker going to play in this battle then? Because he's got half a tank of fuel in, so he's not going to be getting out of the way anytime soon. So blue flag clearing Joker when he did could be critical now, because Unsafe's got to do the same. T Smith also hanging on. Being a GT1, he's only got one set of medium tyres he's allowed to use across the race, so he's saving them for a little bit later on, I believe. Mikey pits from the lead. It's Carlo up in P10 now. He's got Macman closing in on him. That's Carlo getting close to the end of his stint. Macman about halfway through. A personal best on lap 25 and is up on his best time on this lap as well. Rounding the hairpin. front four covered by 5 seconds then after 54.5 minutes of racing. Watching T. Smith, P4 at the moment. So Felice is only taking about 1/10 of a second out of Joker ahead of him, so Joker's pace at the minute is similar to that of the guys around him. Blue flag 1.7 seconds in the lead. Joker then, the outgoing GT2 champion. At the moment it looks like he's not going to retain. Still needs some big dramas to befall both unsafe and blue flag, and he needs to hold off T. Smith. But unsafe is now starting to take a bit of time out. Joker there, getting the back end twitching around. Unsafe then gets 1/10 closer. Board with unsafe release, and as he tries to hunt down Joker. Under the hotel we go, into the final sector. Turn one. Down to 4/10 of a second now. T. Smith 1.6 seconds back. So Felice will be aware of him. Sitting there, just having to just adjust his braking now. They hit the back of Joker, but you can see that blue flag is getting away there, and that's the race win with him. See how evenly matched these cars are. They're not making much headway even in the slipstream. Joker will defend the inside, then takes the middle ground in the braking zone for the chicane. Unsafe then, just has to wait. Yeah, the tyre screeching. Oh, Joker has a big twitch there. That's going to give it a big opportunity here to unsafe release. He goes to the outside line. It's the long way around. It's going to make it difficult, but not impossible. Can he go for a cutback? No, Joker will hold that apex nicely. Able to find a way through the final corner. Ooh, getting the rear end there, getting all sorts of hilarious. Blue flag just continue. Now these two are battling. Look at how big that gap has grown. It was 3 seconds at the start of the last lap. It's now 5.2. Joker is now holding up unsafe through sideways again through turn 1. T. Smith closing in now as well. Gap down to just 7/10 of a second. He's going to be very aware. He needs to find a way through quickly here. Joker will defend the inside, unsafe, trying to go the long way around again at the hairpin. He's out in the marbles, so he's going to try and cut back. Oh, Joker has a big slide then. Unsafe finds a gap down the outside. Great move that, if he can pull it off, and I think he can. He's got around the outside, and through he goes, up into second place. Then Joker's going to drop into the slipstream though and fight back. Unsafe now has to go defensive on the brakes into the chicane at the halfway point of the straight. Joker edges ahead, but Unsafe shuts the door, and I think that's move done. Good move from Unsafe Release, but look at the damage that's been done. That lead to blue flag is now 5.7 seconds. Joker probably got one more lap of fuel in there. Maybe two. Let's see when he drops onto the red line. I think he might be in at the end of this next lap though. He'll probably go around one more time. He has done blue flag a massive favour there in terms of the race win. However, still it's not going to be enough for him to overhaul Unsafe Release in the championship. Oh, T. Smith throwing it sideways out of turn 1. It's joking. You can see they're lifting heavier now through turn sort of 2 and 3 there. Unsafe Release to start pulling a bigger gap. T. Smith closing in. Further back, Mikey in 5th. A bit alone. He's 16 seconds behind T. Smith and 16 seconds ahead of Stufer, so he is right in the middle of no man's land. But his lap times have been consistent since he pitted on lap 28, 56.7, 57.3, 57.5, so like his pace is not too dissimilar to the guys up the road. I'll save that blue flag. Maybe going a little bit quicker there. T. Smith makes the move on Joker as well. Joker's tyres very much past their best now, even if he's on the lightest fuel load. Bit deep there. He will be peeling off this time around, I imagine. This man now has a comfortable lead there. No car in the background. Look, he's now got the final 2 corners to himself. Across the line there, 55.7. Blue flag setting good lap times. 56.1 there, so Unsafe for the personal best fastest lap that time around. But still lost 4/10. My leg cut. So Stufer in P6 then, now on his hard tyre stint, while Face Potter behind him is on the medium, so these two coming together again. Stufer at the minute though, holding Face Potter at bay then. Stufer went well here in the first race of the season, although he had a spin in the Mazdas which kind of put him in the pack for the main race. And I think he had a spin in the main race as well, but that change of livery seems to have done him some good. Maybe that was it then. Joker then on his way out. Is he going to come out just ahead of that battle? I think he is. He's indeed. You see the lights flash by in the background there. So there's Joker in 5th. Stufer just behind him, and then Face Potter Odon, Glyn and SBY all together in a battle then. Let's go on board with Glyn in the middle of the sandwich, Odon ahead of us. But he'll be in this time around, probably. Two behind, though, are very much. Battle and SBY is looking up the inside, I think, somewhere. Where has he gone? Oh, he's there. There he is. Up the inside he goes. SBY on his medium tyre stint. As we mentioned before, the two GT1 drivers filling in. SBY and T. Smith get one set of softs, one set of mediums to use. The rest of the time they will be on the hards. I think Glyn knows that is not his battle at the moment, so he has let SBY go. About 2.6 behind them. That man 3.5 behind him. He is on his in lap then. On to Carlo P13. Back, he's on his in lap, getting off his hard tyres, so that's the hard tyres done. That's definitely shocker now on the softs at the minute then, so just on a personal best of 58 flat. Stops on a tap alley cap. Ooh, blue flag has lost 2 seconds. Somewhere. He's had a big mistake somewhere. 58.3 last time around. Yeah, so a mistake somewhere from blue flag, then that lead that was 6 seconds is down to 3.8. Still got a comfortable lead, but that's going to have hurt him. How might that play out later in the race? Of course, they've both used the hard tyres, they've both just got the softs left to use to get their mandatory allocation done. I think blue flag's a little bit wide there again. He is. Mistakes creeping into blue flag's race at the moment then. There's another 6-7 tenths gone there. And so they're setting personal best 56.1, 56.2, 56.3. Blue flag with a 55.7, but then a 58.3 and a 57.2. So blue flag's lead is evaporating before him. He needs to get out of his head. Start getting back into that consistent run of 55s and 56s he was doing earlier on. Try and build, or at least maintain that gap. Hopefully he's trying to close in. Squeeze the tyres there. See the gap just edging upwards. Down the back straight. T. Smith keeping a watching brief then. 3 seconds behind, so pretty much 3 seconds between each of your top 3. Mikey in 4th, but very lonely 4th place. 15.8 behind T. Smith, 17.8 in front of Joker. He's currently in equally lonely positions with 18 seconds to Mikey, but 5 back to Stufer. And he is less lonely because he's got Face Potter still just chipping away. Stufer on his hard tyre stint at the moment though. Face Potter took his pain last time out. He is now just edging up onto the back of Stufer. Down the back straight we go. Gap is 6 tenths of a second then further back. There's some battle going on. That's Derek making a move on Glyn. But Glyn just struggling a little bit on the hards at the moment. T. Smith pitting from 3rd. Now is is he going? He's going quite early in terms of his fuel wear, so I wonder if he's going to go for the medium tyre stint now and try and jump unsafe. And maybe even blue flag. And also has just pitted. Blue flag with a half-second penalty. Oh, he's becoming a little bit raggedy. No, it's another hard tyre stint for T. Smith. So, thought he might have switched tyres, but no, he's just pitted early. Poppy, stop it. What? You've got food in your bowl, cat. Stu for them pitting, he's getting off of his hard tyres. So that's his pain done. Then we'll go Derek, Glyn and SBY. Now SBY now all over the back of Glyn. It's going to make a move into the hairpin, not quite close enough. He's got a little bit wide. He's trying to switch back on exit. Look at that slingshot he's got there. It's a really good launch off the corner there from SBY. He is gaining now in the slipstream. Is it going to be enough? Is Glyn going to fight it? Since there is, no, he's not. Blue flag is in. So race leader pits. Unsafe will go around one more lap. While they're downshifting, trying to get the power down, having had a bit of a slide. But he has cleared the hard shod Ferrari of Glyn. Up to P8 goes SBY. Glyn down to 9th then. Stupid out on the mediums. Odom meanwhile is on the softs, so look at race, he's 4 tenths up on his current personal best here, so this could be a lap time in the 55s for Odom if he can keep the momentum up through the final sector. Oh, he's outbraked himself massively. Oh, Odom, no, that's very wide. Oh, critically, T. Smith has jumped blue flag. So that's a massive gain there from T. Smith. 55.2. I don't think he's on the hard tyre. I think he's on the mediums. I think that graphic's wrong. Because you're not going to do 55s on the hard tyre. Let alone a 55.2. Well, that was his in-lap. Oh, yeah, of course. That was his in-lap, so ignore that. Oh, T. Smith trying to find a way past I came back, who I don't know if he saw he was there, but T. Smith finding his way through. I came back goes off in avoidance this time. Oh, blue flag's wide, and blue flag's made a mistake. And blue flag is just becoming raggedy and making mistakes at this stage of the race. And so Felice has still got plenty of fuel in the tank as well here, so Unsafe's doing a very good job on fuel here. And he's on a par with his personal best in Sector 1. They're less than a tenth off. Blue flag setting good lap times at this stage of the race. Mikey in a comfortable P2 at the minute. 56.7, yeah, that's consistent with his hard lap times from before, so drama then. Must be why it's cleared Derek as well. Past Glynn. Still from P10. Odon still chasing him down. Back and more with Odon then. 56.3 last time around, so still setting good pace on these soft tyres, and he's again 4/10 up in sector 1. We saw him last time around make a mistake just before the hotel. He looks to get into the 55, so again he's got another opportunity here. He's going to get a nice slipstream down the back straight here from Stufer's car as well. But is he going to be close enough on the brakes to make a move? Stufer's going a little defensive, is he? I don't know, it's going to send it down the inside here, I think. He is. Gets it stopped nicely, nice move. Poppy, stop it. Stuck him out like a prick. It's cost him a little bit of time making that move, but he's still on schedule to make a 55 here. 55.4 is the ultimate pace, but a 55.8 or 9 would be a very good lap time there for Odon, considering that time was set by T. Smith. To the hotel we go. How compliant are those front tyres being through this sector where they really start to overheat a little bit? Big lift there, little bit of understeer through the penultimate corner. To the final corner we go. What's his lap time? Has he got that 55? No, he's lost a little bit in the final sector again. So the tyres now probably past their absolute best. He maybe had that opportunity a couple of laps ago, getting to the 55s, but still good lap times from Owen. Well, where he's in his race, I don't know. He seems to have just go backwards early on. Drifting around the back, but his pace at the minute is quite good, so is he bringing himself back into contention for a sort of top 8 finish? Who knows? Stufer right behind him, unsafe pits now from the lead. Yeah, it's not quite synced, is it? It's weird. Stufer tucked up behind him then, so where then are T. Smith and Blue Flag going to be relative to unsafe, who is refuelling up. T. Smith coming to the final corner now. About to hit 2/3 race distance. Unsafe is slightly short fueled. Mikey takes the lead. Unsafe cuts under the track at turn 1. I think T. Smith's going to be ahead of him. Again, it's going to be very close, and up to speed comes Unsafe Release somewhere ahead of him. They are both ahead of him again. So I do not know how T. Smith has jumped Blue Flag to the manner that he did, because he was 6 seconds behind him. Yet somehow T. Smith has jumped Blue Flag. Possibly fuel? Don't know. Anyway, now Blue Flag is now coming back at T. Smith, so that gap, which was 1.5, 2 seconds, is now down to 0.6, so it's coming back at him. Mikey, meanwhile, is now your race leader. T. Smith does 224, maybe, yeah. Drama somewhere, perhaps. Let me go look at that on the replay. 37. Remember that 37? We have to go have a look. Find out what happened then. Mikey then might have one more lap in the tank. He's going to pit then. We are at 2/3 race distance then. Now Mikey's in. So with a tedious inevitability, T. Smith is about to take the lead of the race. Yes, have a look at the stream, see what happened. See if you can see anything on the map. Unsafe then is pretty much back where he was, 3 seconds behind blue flag. SPY will probably be in this time around. No, he's going to do one more lap. He's committed to the final couple of corners there, so I hope he meant to do one more lap. In comes Derek. Hold on, getting off with his soft tyres. That will let Stufer through. 20 laps to go. It's been so long my TV's trying to turn off. We're good. Faceposser then making his way down to the hairpin. Having a solid race, Faceposser, to round off his season. In the mixer for a top 6. But the strategies, of course, are just all sort of playing out there. It's not really going to be until sort of the last 7-8 laps of this race we finally figure out where everybody is. Once everybody's done all of their pit stops, that's when we'll know the true running order. But the minute we know the front three are close, T. Smith is under all kinds of pressure now. Blue flag is all over him. Oh, look at T. Smith 4-tyre drifting. Blue flag following him out there. And so Felice trying to close down on them again. Blue flag will want to try and get clear here. He wants some clear air. He's on a quicker tyre than T. Smith. We've got an investigative reporter, Phoebe Weber, checking onto the stream earlier on to find out what happened to blue flag on his outlap. See why he lost out to T. Smith. Phoebe Kravitz. Now, is blue flag going to be close enough here? I don't think he's got enough momentum. He is gaining, but not enough. It'll be a big old zombomb into the braking zone if he wants it. But he is not close enough. You can see how much more grip and speed he's got through the slower corners there. Bit of a slide of the rear. So Felice takes a couple of tenths out behind them. Good news for him, he's not losing massive amounts of time to Unsafe Release. But without those mistakes he made in his last stint, he would be ahead of T. Smith still. And having clear tracks, he is compromising ever so slightly. Ooh, he's gone a little bit hot there into the hairpin. Wish he can take multiple different lines around there, but he's lost out another couple of tenths of a second. Oh, T. Smith into the wall. Might there be a chance here? Flag getting very tight up against the wall at the penultimate corner. Unsafe closes into within 2 seconds. Ooh. Blue flag massive overspeed into the final corner. He's losing time now to Unsafe Release. The gap behind is now down to under 2 seconds. Interestingly. Right, well, we'll go back and check the replay a little bit later on to be sure. To be sure, to be sure. Blue flag, you can see the blue flag is quicker. It's on a quicker tyre. But can't get close enough then. The dirty air is really hurting him through the winding sections where he needs to close in, but then have a chance somewhere like this on the brakes. You can see how much better he is on the brakes. Yeah, I'm just going to find out for sure what happened to him, and we'll have a look at that lap. I think he lost out massively, so there's definitely some sort of issue on that lap, isn't there? But 5 seconds is a lot to lose. if he's been off somewhere or wide somewhere. I do love how the driver's hands really exaggerate the gear changes in corners. Like, you would not flick your hand off the pedal that much in a corner. The gap, look behind us, unsafe release is closing in, hand over fist now. Get down to 1.3, there is just 2.1 seconds covering your top three after 43 laps, 1 hour 25 of this race down. And that is your lead three, that's your podium. What order are they going to finish? D. Smith still has a medium tyre to use, a blue flag and unsafe still have the softs to use. Got to think now there's only maybe one more stop each. It's now under 2 seconds, cover your top three. Blue flag has just dropped back a little bit from T. Smith. Now, I am a little worried for blue flag in terms of when he's going to be able to pit for the last time. Well, they've got to use the softs at least once, so yeah, I was going to say, he's not going to make it, is he? He's too far out with the fuel he's got left. I mean, you're looking at realistically 8. No, I mean, T. Smith did 10 laps earlier on. But does he have 6 laps left in the tank? I don't think he does. I don't think that's 10 laps of fuel. So yeah, it might be a double softing for blue flag. But if it is, then I think he might be in soon. Because if you get 7-8 laps out of soft tyres comfortably. But an extra pit stop is a lot. It's a long pit lane here, isn't it? So is it going to be worth it? I don't think it is. Let's keep an eye on him. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If he's going to do it, he's going to do it soon. Unsafe release is now right there. So T. Smith leads, a blue flag second, unsafe third. Joker in a lonely fourth. Realistically, this is the first man in true GT2 pace. We've got some ringers ahead of us. Markey in fifth. So Markey versus Joker is also going to be an interesting one, because Joker's going to have to be pitting soon. But he has used his soft tyres, so he's another one then. It's going to be a big stretch if he wants to get a medium tyre to the end. So I think he'll be on the red line, not too far out. Now he might have enough to do 2 more. No, he's on the red line now. So we've realistically got what, 1.3 laps, 1.4 laps. And he'd have to do what then, 14, 15 laps, which now we saw Glynn do that earlier on, but can Joker do it? I don't know. Or is he going to have to double soft at the end? Which will put Mikey comfortably in. Yeah, Stuffer's having a really good race again. I was saying earlier on, like he had good pace in the round at the start of the season as well, but he's spanning the Mazdas out of, I think, about 4th place, which kind of put him on the back foot for the main race, and then I think he's spanning the main race as well. This time, however, much cleaner, and he's currently P6. Battling face Potto, those two have been together pretty much the entire race. SPY, meanwhile, has now arrived on the scene. SPY is on his soft stint and making the move on face Potter, so SPY is going to be quick at this phase. In fact, SPY, fastest man on track, 54.2. Going to be the lonely 9th. Odon P10, Glynn P11. Again, Glynn's just sort of faded away in the middle of the race again, which we saw earlier on in the season, where he had good pace in the start and then had one stint where he just sort of fell away. But I think it's, what did he do? told us he did something, didn't he? He dropped away from pace-wise, and I can't remember what he did. I think he put the wrong tyres on or something, didn't he? I think he said he put the wrong tyres on. That man's race has not really worked out as he would have liked. He's now gone a lap down to the leaders. Going back. 13. On to Carlo P14. Static shocker Ian P15. Still making his way around. Not seeing much of him tonight. Fairly consistent lap times for the whole. T. Smith then has got the hammer down. Now he has got. Is he going to be in this time around? Unsafe release has caught blue flag. Just behind. T. Smith has still got the mediums to use. Now he can realistically get them to the end from here, if he could save the fuel. So he's just not going to make them to the end, is he? Well, what's Unsafe's like? So Unsafe's got half a tank left, so yeah, he's going to be fine to get to the end. Because he can get to, I mean, realistically he needs to be to like, what, 52? And at 52 really to get them to the end. Blue flag's going to be, oh, really mate, lights the rears up again. I'm expecting blue flag to drop onto the red line anytime now. But he's not going to make up an extra pit stop, so I think blue flag has just miscalculated somewhere. Versus FTPY. FTPY on those soft tyres. Stufa on the mediums. Both of them quite worn. SPY, the man that Unsafe toppled the last time we won the championship, in the race again, not battling him this time for the title. I think this is going to be the move. SPY gaining in the slip, out of the slip, to the inside. And out of the rear screen. There he appears. Move done, but let's see if we'll know that's not his race at the moment. In comes T. Smith, in comes blue flag. T. Smith will be on the mediums, blue flag will be on the softs. Sure, he's got to go softs. Yeah, he's short fueled. The blue flag will jump T. Smith. Comfortably so. He's on half tank of fuel. On the softs he goes. T. Smith will be on the mediums. I think now realistically it's blue flag, it's unsafe release versus T. Smith for the race win. It's how much time can T. Smith build on fresh tyres now, and how quick will unsafe over the next sort of 3-4 laps, and then how quick will unsafe be at the end, because the last time we were here unsafe used his soft tyres early, and that came back to haunt him at the end because he pulled the gap but blue flag chased him down. This time around, Unsafe is saving his to the end, not making the same mistake twice. Well on his way then to wrapping up the title. I mean, it's been done over the season, but this is just the getting it over the line. Flag then is going to be pushing for all he's worth as hard as he can, because realistically now he's battling Mikey and Joker as well for that final step of the podium if he's got to make an additional stop. So Unsafe's got one more stop to make. Blue Flag will also have one more stop to make. Mikey will have one more stop to make. T. Smith is the first driver to have made all of his pit stops. He will now be going to the end. He may have to do being a little bit doing fuel saving, which might come into Unsafe's hands. So keep an eye on the gap then. It's 28.8 seconds at the moment. At the moment, he is pulling that gap down. He's on fresher tyres. So let's see what kind of lap times he's pumping in then. Joker's going to have to make one more stop. Potentially. SBY will have one more to make. A big twitch there from the Ferrari, kicking out the rear end. He burns through those soft tyres. He'll be back onto the hards, so he'll try and drag these soft tyres as long as he can do. Stufer will be in this time around for his final stop then. Back onto the medium tyre, I would imagine. Just has to worry about Face Potter behind him. Face Potter's got a few more laps in the tank. Have both used their soft tyres already. Derek and Odon. Do about Derek then. 1.3 is the gap between those two. Derek has got more fuel than I'm sure he's going to have to make one more stop. Glyn, the Enigma. I think he's still got the soft tyres to use, but I just don't know where he is. And they also say we're getting to the stage now where people will be making their last stops soon. Like I came back's just done his, so he's now done to the end. And Carlo probably has one more to make. Not really at the end, so the Shocker's just pitted. He's on the soft tyres, so we won't be getting to the end on those. We'll see then SBY in, Stufer in. Blue Flag 54.5. Personal fastest lap of the race. 2 seconds out of Unsafe on that lap. T. Smith's gap to the race leader now 27.8. He's taken a second out of Unsafe release. He has got Mikey ahead of him though. And Mikey's on quite warm tyres. At the minute he's not directly affecting him, but he will be getting some dirty air off the back of that Ferrari. That will be hindering his lap times, especially through this next section. They're down to 27.6, so a minute he's still catching. Ooh, T. Smith there, getting very sideways off the curb of the Ferrari. Such a good handling car, but it just does not like curbs at all. The biggest example of that was Gilles Villeneuve a couple of weeks ago there. You really have to attack the curbs to get the speed out of the lap time, but a car that does not like the curbs around there is a bit of a handful, as a few of us found out, myself included. T. Smith then catches Mike into turn one, but not close enough to make a move. Mikey's out over the AstroTurf. Now we'll be slow through this sector, and T. Smith's not going to be able to find a way through here. costing him time here. Had a good run here though. I think he'll get the move done down into the hairpin. Mike goes a little bit defensive. T-Smith switches to the inside. Mikey breaks later though, trying to hang on around the outside. Can Mikey railroad around the outside? No, he can't. T-Smith is through, but Mikey's going to have a good run down the back straight here. Go on, Mikey, send it. Send it. Send it. Don't you pussy out on this. Anybody in the chat, anybody in the group party, do not tell him not to puss him out. Send it. Send it. No, he's wussed out. Boo. Smith then lighting the rear tyres up, then gap to the leader, 27.2. Blue flag still taking chunks of time out of the race leader. It's 1.8 seconds on the last lap, but it's not going to be enough. Safe release then has touched the red line, but I think he's got to have one more lap of fuel in there to get to 52. Don't think he'll peel off this time. No, he won't. I think he knows he's relatively comfortable. Looks like tyres not looking too bad at the minute, but the strategy of an extra pit stop there is going to hurt him. Looks like then 55.7, 57 flat, so another 1.3 out of the race leader, but it's not enough for blue flag, because as of next lap they will be on the same tyre. Blue flag might do a couple more laps on these. He'll have a shorter pit stop, so he'll probably make a little bit of time back up on unsafe release again, but I don't think it's going to be a whole pit stop's worth. It's not worked out for him. Meanwhile, T. Smith has the gap to lead is now 25.6, so he is flying at this point in the race. 26.2 against a 57 flat. It's 0.8 on that lap. Fourth, gap to Joker is 14 seconds, and Joker, does he have 8 laps of fuel left in there? I don't know. I don't know if he does, you know. So it's Mikey versus Joker for fourth. The unsafe is in, so race leader pits then. His final stop of the season. Blue flag into the lead. Where is T. Smith then? T. Smith coming down and start finish straight into turn 1. What's the gap going to be between unsafe release and T. Smith? Oh, he's there. It's going to be close. It's going to be really close. T. Smith by a fraction. Unsafe's going to have the momentum though down the hill. To the outside. Trying to go the long way, he's going to pinch him to the apex. Oh, there's contact. Out wide goes unsafe release. On the brakes for the chicane, down the inside comes unsafe release. Is he going to go deep? A little bit, but T. Smith's going to try and switch back. Unsafe's got the grip, but T. Smith's got a good run. Trying to get out, he's not got the momentum though, is he? Or does he? Trying to get a little bit more slipstream. He's overlapped ever so slightly on the outside. Unsafe's going to push him over as much as he can do. T. Smith thinks about moving to the inside, but doesn't make the move, and Unsafe has got it pegged for now. Is that the race-winning move? Blue flag is in from the race lead. So T. Smith now just needs to kind of keep unsafe honest, because he will, those tyres will drop off at the end, and he might come back at him. We've seen this all season, how much of a good race tyre that soft, the medium tyre is. What's the gap going to be for blue flag? The front two have passed the pit exit then, so he is behind. They'll have a tyre benefit over T. Smith. But is that gap going to be too big? It's a big gap. So Mikey then has pitted and he's come out ahead of Joker. So Joker did have one more stop to make then, so Mikey is now clear in fourth. So it's now a head-to-head duel between those two, but again 7 seconds between them. Joker will need a second a lap to catch him. SBY is out in P6 but being chased out. The battle between Stuffer and Face Potter carries on. The background Monte Carlo's gone around. Derek isn't far away from these guys either, although Derek's got a pit stop to make imminently. Oh, Stuffer is all up the inside of the curb there. That could be trouble. Like Stuffer's going to have to make another stop because he's on the soft tyre and they are already looking pretty worn. In fact, so is Face Potter, but I think Face Potter should be okay because he's just pitted. Glenn's got another stop to make. He'll be in for his soft tyres imminently. And Odon. So Odon might pick up some places here. He's just pitted. You know, he's on the soft tyre. Matman P12. Just not seemingly had the pace tonight, for whatever reason. Came back P13. Bit of a lonely race for him, but it's 54 seconds behind Matman, 20 is ahead of Monte Carlo, who we just saw getting righted, having spun out the final corner. That's that shocker. His way then down to the hairpin. I think he's going to have to stop again as well. Those tyres are not going to get to the end. So unsafe then, hammer down. He's got that lead up to 3 seconds already. Making hay. This isn't a huge tyre wear track. The final sector is probably the bit that hurts it the most. That may be the first couple of corners, but the middle part of the lap is very much straights and chicanes, which don't really hurt the tyre too much. They're the soft tyre lasting quite well around here. What can blue flag do? Anything can he do about getting back towards T. Smith? Got the gap down to under 10 seconds, but he's running out of lap time. Or running out of laps, rather. Mikey Meanwhile, 54.7 against Joker's 56.1. So Mikey seems to have the legs over Joker for fourth. So let's go find Face Potter versus Stuffer, shall we? Part 25 of this battle. Face Potter, I think, is going to prevail though, because Stuffer's going to have to give us a pit stop because those tyres, I don't think, are going to get to the end. They're okay at the minute, but we've seen how quickly they can drop away. Derek has just pitted, so he's lost out to Odon. I said he's only 3 seconds behind him, so Odon's tyres are already starting to look very second-hand. So Derek could be coming back at Odon before the end of this race. Glyn now on his soft tyres, but again, just somewhere in the middle of this race, he looked like early on that he'd kind of put himself in a really strong place in that long first stint. Came out in P6, did the soft tyre early. I just wonder if he's done a stop too many in the middle of it all somewhere. Oh, T. Smith with a half-second penalty. That will be good news to unsafe release and potentially a blue flag. Although, don't think it'll affect the overall results come the end of the race. But we shall see. Ow. Unfortunately, the field has sort of spread out a little bit now, so Stuffer's got himself a half-second penalty as well, so the closest bar we've got is about to get a little bit wider. Derek 3.8 behind Odon, and 3.6, so we'll keep an eye on that. Well, let's go on board then with our race leader as he heads towards a second FTRL title. And the first one very nearly got taken away from him by a disconnect at the Nürburgring Nordschleife. Oh, so that was just the Nürburgring, wasn't it? No, Spa, sorry, the disconnect happened at Spa while he was leading. Well, through the championship towards SPY, but then that definitive last race came up. If anybody wants to watch it, it was season 9, GT2. I think somebody put it in the main Discord the other day, so it's there for you to watch how that one unfolded. Unsafe wearing the same livery he's on now, snatched the championship away. This time he is in firm control and is going to see it home in emphatic fashion. Flicks it under the hotel then. We are on lap 58 of 60 then, 3 to go. The championship edges ever nearer. 5 seconds is the gap back to T. Smith then. A valiant effort there considering he's not been able to use as many sort of competitive tyres as the guys around him, but still a very good effort from Mr. Smith, as you would expect. So he can wrap up his big prize tomorrow. Just needs a very similar performance to what Unsafe needed tonight. He's got a comfortable lead in the standings, just needs to see it home really, not disconnect. Blue flag has been resilient in the championship, started the season off so strongly, but in the middle of the season when it mattered most, Unsafe release has been in fine fettle. If we look at the standings and how it worked out then, so Blue Flag was double victorious in week 1, but Unsafe release was followed him home in both races. It was then reversed next time out at Largo Maggiore. Well, Unsafe won and Blue Flag was only third after Joker pipped him to P2. The Red Bull Ring then, it was a victory for Unsafe release in the sprint race, but Blue Flag followed him home. But then in the main race, then Unsafe got P2. While Unsafe could only be second in class and Blue Flag was fourth. Go St. Croix, Blue Flag fought back, victorious from Unsafe. Joker again in third, those three once again making up the podium for the 4th time in the season, the 5th overall. In fact, 6 times this season those three have been on the podium. Next time at Spa, Blue Flag won the Mazda race from unsafe release after he got a penalty on lap 1. But in the main race, unsafe was victorious from Joker, again as blue flag ended up 3rd. And went to Canada next time out, unsafe for victorious over blue flag again. This time it was Mikey who ended up in 3rd. And at Kyoto, unsafe won the sprint race from blue flag, and Joker again for the 6th time those three were on the podium together. But in the endurance race, then unsafe won, and Joker was 2nd, and Derek was in 3rd. Blue flag only 5th. Which is kind of what opened that big gap up then, just coming into this final week, which has made it a bit of an unassailable gap really. It was a big ask to do in the final week. But it's been a valiant effort from him nonetheless. Safe, banging in consistent lap times in the 55s. Mikey then has got Joker covered. Battle for 4th, SPY. Solid effort to come through for P6. Face Potter is chasing him down. How are Stufa's tyres doing? To be fair, they're okay, but he's still got 2 laps to do. Odon in 9th. He's got Derek chasing him down ever so slightly. Again, Odon's another one whose tyres are a little bit second hand. But I think he should be okay. Derek's going to be fine. He can push Glyn. In a lonely P11. Matman in a very lonely P12. 40 seconds behind Glyn. 58 ahead of I Came Back. He's also a little bit tight on fuel, Matman. That said, he has been lapped, so he will have 1 less lap to do. I Came Back. Solid lap times in there. Tyre wear now, just buying in a little bit, and Monte Carlo should also only have 1 more lap to do. That's a shocker. I think probably needs to pit because those tyres are about done. Front right tyre, sorry, looking very, very angry. But on to the final lap we go, the final lap of the season. Unsafe then lighting the rears up out of the hairpin. He's got 8 seconds in hand over T. Smith, who I think has settled for 2nd. He's just a little bit worried about fuel, maybe. About the same as about the same as unsafe, to be fair, so I think he should be fine. What an championship it's been. We've had some epic battles between unsafe and blue flag this season. The opening round was an absolutely titanic scrap between them. But unsafe has just been that little bit better when it mattered. Couple of races here and there, he's just made the most of his opportunities there, especially the last time out, where he opened up a big points margin coming into the final week. Through then the complex for the final time, up towards the hotel for the final time. Under the flyover we go. To the left, and mind the wall on the right. We've got 2 corners to go. It's his lucky livery. He'll probably wear it every season from now on, because every time he's adorned it, he has won the title. Out of the final corner, a flash of the lights, a weave across the line. Unsafe release is your race winner, and unsafe release is your GT2 champion for the 2nd time. T. Smith crawls out the final corner. Is he going to let blue flag go through? I think he does. Is he going to let them all go through? I think. Well, he's got the Mikey through for the podium, maybe. So blue flag is 2nd, Mikey out of the final corner. T. Smith then going to roll across the line then in 4th. But still a class win then for him, covering in for Zom. Mattman, another big old penalty, crosses the line. Joker coming home in P5 in the end. SBY filling in for Nobby Norris. Across the line in P6, but another lap on static shocker. Up to the final corner he comes, around the final corner he comes. And some good practice ahead of his race tomorrow. Across the line goes static shocker as well. Face Potter, solid night from him. A very good effort there in 7th for him. Stufer has no front right tyre left, but managed to drag it home in P8. Face Potter then getting the best of him in that battle. Then behind them, Odon and Derek are still squabbling. Odon's just got enough tyre left to hold off Derek. Another lap though, he might have been in some trouble. Just a second between them as they come to the line. Then Odon across the line in 9th. It's Derek in P10. Glyn is going to come home in P11. And then we always see Matman, I Came Back, Monte Carlo, and Static Shocker across the line. And there we go then. It is victory for our champion. Does it in emphatic style. Pole position. Wins the race. Wins the title. Unsafe is your season 32. Mikey. Champion. GT3 is next season. Just FYI. Victory in the end by 11 seconds over Blue Flag, although T-Smith did slow down there to give up the podium. Mikey then ending up 3rd, second podium of the season after his one at Canada. T-Smith in 4th, finishing in for Zom, who already clinched the GT3 Championship Joker in P5 as he hands over the GT2 title. But a very solid effort from him this season. SBY, fastest lap of the race in P6. Face Potter, great effort from him in 7th. Stufer rounds off a very solid season in P8. It's Odon in P9, just pipping Derek for P10, then Glyn in P11. Matman comes home P12. I Came Back in 13th. Monte Carlo in 14th. And Static Shocker in 15th then. So what we need to do now, save the replay. Oh, not a problem, unsafe. Actually, not that bad. I'm not busting for a wee either. So let's go have a quick look then at what happened to Blue Flag on lap 37, wasn't it, Phoebe? Just want to see what happened there, because he was comfortably ahead and then he comfortably wasn't ahead. Chucking down with rain. It is, yes. Let's then have a quick look at this and what happened to Blue Flag. He gave up a lot of time, but for what reason?